Hi, good afternoon. My name is Donovan Schroeder, your presenter for today. A brief introduction to myself. My paper was about the ethical and environmental issues of fast fashion, so I thought it's fitting to one of the largest names in the industry. Let's start with the basics. Fast fashion is the method of producing fashion apparel with speed in mind. The industry focuses on churning out clothing items as fast as possible at the lowest possible cost to meet current consumer demand. This means more seasons and more collections annually to keep consumers satisfied and to keep the industry ever changing. So, how does fast fashion companies keep up with the never ending trends while also keeping their products affordable? It's a straightforward case of cutting costs at every possible corner. For this presentation, we'll take a look at some of the cases of labor disputes and injustices associated with one of the biggest fast fashion retailers in the world, Zara. Zara is regarded as one of the pioneers of fast fashion, being one of the first brands to introduce such fast response as a fashion business model. It is owned by parent company Inditex, which in turn is headed by Amancio Ortega, who is the 11th richest person today according to Forbes 2021. To have gotten to that point, Zara has been part of several labor scandals that should make us think twice about buying from the brand. Number one, sweatshop conditions. Sweatshops generally refers to workplaces, especially in the garment industry, that provides incredibly poor working conditions and long hours with inhuman pay. In 2011, the Brazilian Labor Ministry found that one of Zara's major suppliers of outsourced labor was operating under sweatshop conditions. These employees work up to 16 hours per day, without a single free day in the week. That isn't even considering the terrible pay they get, which comes to less than $180 per month according to some reports. This is from The Guardian source. So here's a picture. Number two issue, refugee labor. There have been instances when an undercover investigation found Syrian refugees working illegally for Zara. These refugees were reportedly working for 12 hours a day around hazardous chemicals without face masks on to protect themselves. At the most basic level, the factory could have provided its workers with adequate protection from the toxic chemicals that are constantly surrounded. So I get pictures here. Number three is forced labor. There has been lots of issues surrounding the terrible things that go on in Uyghur forced labor camps. In 2021, the Australian Strategic Policy Institute found that almost 80,000 Uyghurs were removed from their homeland and then brought to mainland China to provide labor for factories that service many global companies that we might be familiar with, including Zara. Zara has denied these claims, but a workers' rights in consortium report tells us otherwise. Issues with these forced labor camps includes terrible working conditions, exploitative supervisors, and much more. Clearly, there's a lot of work to be done. The events I've laid out don't even cover everything yet. There are many issues with Zara and its parent Inditex that we haven't covered. Another particular issue that I could not confirm but was the widespread over online magazine was that factory workers started sewing messages on clothing in Zara stores in Istanbul to express their sentiments. The factory, which produced clothes for Zara, had allegedly disappeared overnight, leaving the workers unpaid for their labor. Regardless, one thing remains true. These fast fashion brands operate under exploitative practices that dehumanize the labor aspects of production. These fast fashion brands will be quick to deny their parts in the exploitative system they are complicit in, but hopefully, we consumers become more and more aware about the prices of our clothing. Astounding as the cheap prices may be, always remember that we aren't the ones paying for the true cost. Thank you, and this is all for my report. Thank you for listening, and here are my resources. Have a good day.